Hello and welcome to Victoriana. It's nearly the end of July and it's been ages since we've done a clip, and that is basically down to the weather. We're right in the middle now of our Totally Tomatoes week, so if you see this before the 3rd of August, come along and you can taste any of these varieties of tomatoes. We've actually got 85 in here, and you can come and taste those, and if you like them you can buy seed for next year. But as I say, it has been a wickedly hot and hard summer so far. We're very far behind. We're quite messy here and there on the nursery, and we have literally just been watering and trying to keep up with stuff. So I'm going to give you a quick run around the nursery, and yes, it would be lovely to see you here if we can see you before the weekend. And if you don't make it for then, obviously we've got our Chili Fest coming along as well. That's in October. That's the 6th and 7th of October. And as you can see already, I'll talk about chilies again in a minute anyway, but some of them are getting pretty huge already. So as I say, a very quick run around the nursery now. So as I say, out here in the beds, a bit like most of the nursery, we're just a little bit messy. We've managed to tidy up the shrubs. We're about 3/4 through caning and tying the grapes, but actually the ones that we started originally need another trim down. And out here I reckon we're a good 6 weeks behind on work, but that's because, as I've said, we spent a lot of time watering and a lot of time trying to keep on top of stuff, and it's just been a struggle. But everything's all alright. There's just a few messy bits here and there. So areas that really have suffered are some of our garden and ornamental areas, and you know, this is just a complete and utter mess. And we've had to abandon it. We just literally haven't had the time. We've been so busy, which is wonderful. And when we haven't been busy getting orders out the door, we have been struggling to get anything else done other than keep all the stock alive. So, as I say, it's a shame. It's quite messy. We're now getting a few hours each day. And if the weather doesn't go super crazy hot again, we hope to catch up in the next few weeks. And if it's not a few weeks, then I guess it'll be a month or so. But we are trying. So here in the bubble, it's a tale of two halves really. On the fuchsia side, we're very empty. We're basically just down to our stock plants now, and that's because we've actually had to stop propagation this year, which is the first time we've had to do that, just simply because it's been so hot, and we were just losing too many cuttings. We were running at a success rate of about 10%, which is just absolutely mad. So don't think Mum would be too happy on that one, but the stock plants that we've been potting back up, they're all coming back nicely. We will yank them for cuttings as soon as we can, as soon as we know the weather's going to be cooler, and hopefully for next year we'll be right there where we need to be, because I have to say this year on fuchsia sales it's been quite a shock as to what we've sold. Gone a little bit crazy. But as I say, tale of two halves. Obviously the exotics down the middle, they're loving the hot weather, and we've got through a fair few of those. And then the other side of the house is pretty full up with the last of our sowing production that we did before deciding to give up. So it's a long way away over there, but it's mainly asparagus and perennials for next year, a few bits for the autumn, but yeah, it's mainly some of the larger perennial crops really. As I say, they were the last ones we got done before we decided to give up, and I think sort of we'll see what the weather does, and probably plan to start again early September. So but again, in here we're a bit untidy and a bit messy. Again, it's a struggle to keep on top, but we will get back there. So out here in the cell area, we're just a little bit behind now. We usually like to have this all neat and tidy by the end of June, and instead it looks like it's going to be the first week of August. But we're getting there, and I think we've got most of our perennial stuff out now. And the scary thing is, of course, it won't be long before we're thinking of bringing it in for the autumn rains. So up here in the top house, Victoria and Hannah have just been struggling to keep on top of the herbs really. It's been trim. It's a shame how much we've actually been throwing away of fresh herb material. We're using as much as we can. We're drying some for ourselves as well, but obviously it's been a fantastic year for their growth, as long as we've been able to keep them watered, which we have. So yeah, it's been a little bit mad, and I think it's been driving them mad too. As far as the chilies are concerned, as I say, we've got our Chili Fest later on, 6th and 7th of October. And here's a good proportion of them in here. We've got going to be over 200 varieties this year. Steve's been through, done some of the de-leafing. We've got a good crop of fruit coming on them, a little bit of colour coming here and there. But yeah, very, very pleased indeed. They're all looking pretty spectacular. Some of them are up to 6 and 7 feet already, so I think come October we'll probably be up to sort of 8 foot on some of the varieties. And of course right down the end here we've got all our chili tents. These are all the varieties that we're seed saving for this year. And again this year we're doing about 40 varieties. And they're all doing quite happily as well too. So some things have actually enjoyed the heat, even if it hasn't been all of us. So I'll finish off now down here in what used to be our orchard, and still is part of our orchard, and is another messy area at the moment. Anyone who's been to Chili Fest will know it usually finishes about here. This is where all the stalls finish, but we've actually grubbed out the other fence, and we've gone right over to the front fence, and similarly over this side we've levelled and seeded. Perfect time for seeding was the beginning of June, and then of course we didn't see any rain, so we managed to irrigate and half get it going. It's brought all the stone to the surface, and as I say, it's very, very untidy at the moment, but now we've had a little bit of moisture, we can get the power rake in here, we can get the flail in, try and get it a bit more tidy, and hopefully we'll be there for Chili Fest, which is going to be much, much bigger. So as I say, that's it for the end of July. Hopefully it won't be so long until I do another clip, and if not, make sure that you put the 6th and 7th of October in your diary for Chili Fest.